By the way, Fruity, let us know once you start your stream. So we're live right now.
I wish I
Do
could
people know you're the
commentate, but I
streamer for this
can't.
game?
What?
Do people know that you're the streamer for this game? Has it been advertised?
I mean, I confirmed it with what's his name? Kudjo Boy or something. Okay, hold on, let me give this guy the link. I mean, it's not on the. I don't know. He didn't update the. He didn't update the.
Yeah. And what you can do is ask Private Major or Asif or someone like that to tree message and mumble to get everyone your stream link.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do it. I don't know yet.
Trendy, do you have powers in the Pirates channel?
No. Ty
All right.
does, but
Is he in game right now?
you just trying to get streaming?
We're gonna make a stream room.
Oh, I see.
Want to move down to the privateers channel?
Yeah, just ask Asdif to make like privateers like private for a minute or something,
All right, sounds
so that
good.
you guys can stream.
Perfect.
Where am I supposed to go?
Let's go down to the privateers channel, which is the third sub-channel in Pirates. Also, Fruity, do you want to turn off your stream for a few seconds while we get this all set up? Yeah, basically just mute it. So welcome to Mr. Fruitsy's stream. We're streaming the Pirates against Knights of Capalot. This is basically the OS minions against two-time consecutive champion Canadian. It's going to be a really good matchup. Unfortunately, Nulfin can't make it because he's busy having a child right now. So let's all congratulate him for that. And in the meantime, it looks like they have Demon covering on offense or on defense with Train and Trendy Grove and Tojo on offense. While Knights of Capalot have a defense of Canadian and David Stern and an offense of Serdan and Jay, who paired up last season on the Knights of Capalot and who've been looking really good so far this season.
What do you think? How big do you think an impact Denman subbing for Nielsen would be?
It's interesting.
The players.
It's interesting because last game the Pirates played, Tojo lagged out, and Demon was one of the guys who subbed in, and he actually got a cap. And so he played offense last game, and now it looks like he's going to be switching to defense. He's one of those players who can play well both on offense and on defense, and he showed it in minors last season. Now the question is, can he be as proficient on defense in majors as he was in minors? We'll have to see this game. It also looks like they might be putting in FTP Dynasty in for other halves on defense to play with Train, depending on how well Demon does. And I can vouch for the fact that F2P is one of the players on the rise in MLTP this season, so it'll be exciting to watch him get his first majors minutes.
Yep, I guess especially for the Pirates team, this is a story of which new player will step up to fill the shoes. Because
all right, give me a second. I'm not in spec. You can keep talking.
Of who can fill Nilfin's shoes, right? Because Nilfin is rather established defender. Have been around for, it's been, time goes by so quickly. Just a few months ago, we were thinking of the original sign guys as the new kids on the block. And now they're pretty much competitive staples, as well as, like they're now the players to beat. But let's get into the game.
So it looks like both teams are going to get their own power-ups. Train gets the advantage with the Juke Juices. All the rest of the power-ups are rolling bombs. Let's see if teams can use them efficiently. Tojo keeps his alive, and Trendy Grub's already out ahead of 3.
Pass 3.
He has a block on David Stern, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Trendy's going to have to take a lap. Good recovery by the Knights of Capalot and David Stern, holding his team in the game so far. Tojo's got a rolling bomb running out on regrab. Question is, can Trendy make it count, make it cap or die before Tojo's rolling bomb runs out? And he can't. Nice bomb by Canadian. Now, at this point, do you think Tojo's better off going in for a cap or waiting for Trendy to get regrab?
Personally, on velocity, I think that it is better to set up a regrab train as opposed to punching it, because it is really easy to hold and survive on this map. But 1v2, you pretty velocity is not an easy map to grab on if you don't have any form of setup.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have any form of momentum going into the flag.
Tojo inadvertently saves Trendy. But what did you think? Right there, oh, poor Canadian could have used that bomb to try to deter Trendy. But what did you think of Serdan staying on defense and triple teaming Trendy rather than going and helping on offense?
Really, really dangerous for. Oh, never mind. Tojo runs into the corner and they had a power play right there. 2 tag pros on defense with one guy coming in base, but unfortunately couldn't capitalize on that.
And so far, a scoreless game after a minute and a half, and not that much offense for the Knights of Capalot. It seems like they've had 3 on defense for most of the game so far. Mm-hmm. But now Serdan's out with the flag. Let's see if he can stay alive long enough for Jay to get the regrab, and he does. And so now the question is, can he actually make his way to his base?
Nice,
great snipe by Demon. Pretty risky, but looked like he had it down. Also although he does get juked. Great juke by Jay.
They were put into really good position to get a reset, but unfortunately they, like you said, Demon got juked.
And some great OD by Tojo getting that return just in time, and he actually manages to get a quality grab out of it. But he just dies not quite in time for it to happen. Oh, Train gets so lucky on that bomb snipe. He triggers the bomb, and somehow the flag carrier survives the initial knock.
Train! Oh, that was so close.
But just can't quite make it.
Yeah, if he made that play, they would be in a really good position too. But that wasn't even a particularly risky, boost to take, seeing as he knew that he had people in front of the flag.
Speaking of boosts, Canadian just made quite the snipe there. It was a big anticipation snipe. And we're seeing here the the difficulty with playing Velocity is that it's so easy to get on offensive defense with all these boosts that if you have only 1 or 2 seconds in your base with the flag, you have to take advantage of them. Otherwise, all of a sudden, everyone's back on OD.
That was a really, in my opinion, that was a really good play by Tojo and Trendy Grip, because the moment, and really good awareness too, because they knew that they were the two people who were closest back to their base. When they got a return, they started running backwards to their base, even though both of them are the offensive players for their team.
So do you see what Jay was doing there? He was delaying that tag throw so that he could get it in time for his partner to make use out of it. I think that's a smart move. It almost cost them though because Trendy was out ahead of 3. But again, Velocity shows its power in the fact that you can get back on OD so quickly. Now Trendy just grabbed a rolling bomb against 2 tag throws. That's going to be helpful, although he does have the flag, so regardless, wouldn't make that much difference. Can he stay alive? Oh, not quite. He had to squeeze through that little hole. Oh, and it looks like it's going to be the first cap from defender David Stern. Great boost and great timing on that return. I think that was Jay who made the return. So, role reversal right there, but it worked out for them. So, Knights of Capalot take the lead, and both teams... Actually, that's not true. Knights of Capalot come into this game having split against Wasatch Team first week, and Wasatch Team who also earned a split this week. Whereas Pirates haven't won a single game yet, so question is, can they get their first win here? And things are looking intense. Tojo back on defense with Demon on offense.
And
so Knights of Capalot get 2 tag throws. Interestingly enough, Jay goes for the grab with the fresher tag throw of the 2. And he gets returned. Now he has tag throw spawning in base though. It could have been useful if Demon hadn't grabbed. Smart grab by Demon. Good awareness. Oh, could this juke happen? Not quite. Good hesitation by Demon. And Tojo's just waiting for Trendy to get back on Re. Smart move. We're seeing a very conservative game being played here. Not too many risks taken in. That's why the score's still so low 5 minutes into it.
Pirates are gonna spawn soon. Let's see how the... Oh wow, that was 3 grabs. 3 flashes. Oh no.
And Nad's just on point with that offensive defense. As he said, the Flacids could have cost them, but Nads was there to save their ass. Demon opting to fight for that power-up.
To power up against 2 players. That was slightly uncoordinated on part of Trendy Grab and Tojo, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's a great play by Jay, because knowing the exact second at which the power-up spawn really helps, because Jay knew when it spawned and he managed to get it. But now, Tojo had a free grab, but David Stern recovered.
If I were Tojo, I'd set up a handoff, ideally by going into the corner or something.
Really dangerous again. And that's a cap.
Great snipe by Canadian, and this snipe actually helped him out with the block as well. 2-0. And it looks like it's going to be a 3rd cap if he can... Oh, he makes it in time!
Just
3-0.
in time.
Holy crap, that was really close. Great blocks, the double blocks by Nads and David Stern really paying off there. And Train has to get on the flag right now, otherwise Demon, if he dies, that would have been a cap. But somehow Demon gets out. I think the defenders concentrated on getting those blocks too much and forgot about the return. Oh, and both players go for the tag throw, letting David Stern out. A bit of lack of coordination or communication there. And Train's tag throw lead not working out too well. Looks like this team needs a bit more coordination, which is interesting because of all the teams this season, you'd expect a team that has players who are known for their chemistry to be the team that coordinates well.
David Stern almost makes a great play on Trendy Grab.
He somehow gets out though. Jukes Train inside the box, Jukes Demon getting out of the box, Jukes Train again, but just dies. Great play by the defender there. He already has a cap this game.
Amazing play by David Stern from this season, seeing how he took a really long break from competitive play.
He was the 2nd honeymoon pusher ever drafted to MLTP, and he did really well in his inaugural season before quitting MLTP. But now that he's back, he's been doing really well with Canadian. Credit to him, but also credit to Nads, who's really good at creating a system in which his players can flourish. He's done this 2 seasons in a row, and his systems have won him 2 Super Bowls. And this looks like a bit of a reset, although Tojo's out. Gets the juke juice.
Get David Stern, this is going to be good. Oh my god, David Stern. Are you sure this guy plays defense?
Maybe you should consider a position switch. That was a great juke. He's been saving his team so many times. If he died there, that likely would have been a cap.
Yeah, it looked really dangerous with 3 defenders in base and one of them with attack row, right?
Tojo trying to stay alive on the flag, but there's no return coming, so he decides to take a lap. Smart move. If I were Tojo, I'd just get out of base until his team gets a return, because the longer you're in base, the more chances of you dying.
Now it's a flag.
Oh, and that's a first cap. Great angle read by Trin. Wasn't sure if he had the angle there, but he knew he did, and he just went for it. And the score is now 3-1 with a minute 43 left in the first half of game 1. David Stern with the flag again. And it looks like Demon's playing anti-regrab, which is interesting considering they only have 1 chaser right now. But it makes sense because they're outnumbering the other team 3-on-2 on offensive defense, and so now they can basically get a reset right here. Although Surden somehow managed to pick up a tag row, so we'll see how this goes. And Jay gets the rolling bomb. Tag row rolling bomb combo is very dangerous. But Jay just dies and basically nullifies any effect that tag row could have had on offense. Trendy Grub gets the tag row. Now tag row Juke Juice is quite the good combo as well. If they can orchestrate this properly. It's looks like David Stern's really good. I've heard from Big Swingin', who's a roommate and good friend of David Stern, that David Stern's best talent, or his biggest strength on defense, is not allowing a tag row grab to happen, or somehow evading a tag row well on defense. And it looked like he did it quite perfectly right there, forcing Trendy Grub into a grab that he didn't want to make.
Nice try.
And David Stern has really been lighting it up. That snipe right there, again, great play by him. And Tojo getting the double kill, self-team kill.
Nothing is working out for the Pirates right now. I mean, I think that they have been slightly unlucky in some points of this game.
Yeah, but you make your own luck. And if you look at the power-up distribution, I'm sure if you looked at it closely, you'd see that the Knights of Capalot have dominated so far.
Can't argue with that. So far, Tojo, Trendy Grub has been pretty impressive carrying the flag.
I think Trendy Grub is a very underrated player. And you can see it here, 3 minutes 11 of hold. Nobody else has above 2 minutes. Good hold by Trendy, but at the end of the day, Knights of Capalot exit half 1 with a 3-1 lead on velocity. Let's see if any team decides to make a roster change. I could see the Pirates potentially bringing in F2P Dynasty in place of Demon 32, but we'll see what happens. So what were the strengths of Knights of Capalot? What helped them win this first half?
I think that both teams were, I mean, it's still early in the season. I think the biggest thing that helped Knights of Capalot win this half is the fact that in terms of coordination, David Stern and Canadian are already looking like a very coordinated defensive pairing. Whereas, like in terms of individual skill, everyone looked like no one looked like they were just shitting the bed. But I think the defensive coordination for David Stern and Canadian helped keep the flag in base longer, helped to make better resets. Being able to reset on velocity is really a team effort. You have to communicate to your defensive partner
Absolutely.
which boost lane to be in, how you're gonna close down the angles, who is gonna be the one who's chasing while the other guy is trying to make a boost. So I think that was what won the Knights of Capalot the half.
And so it looks like we're going to move to Pi, the Pirates home server, for second half. Let's see if this works out better for them. It looks like they're going to be bringing in Maurice for the second half, who hasn't seen any Major League action either. So 2 first-time defenders trying it out for the Pirates. And we've got F2P Dynasty in here, who is another Pirate defender. What did you think of the first half?
It was good. Kind of started off pretty bad for us, but we recovered in the second part of that first half. One thing I noticed is that our guys kind of let the flag carriers take 1 a lot. They would fake 2, and we wouldn't contain 1. They would just escape every time. So
just for the viewers, 1 is the far left bomb path, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I noticed Demon got beat, especially by David Stern that one time on the bomb side a couple times, and that ended up costing you guys not being able to close down that choke. What do you think of the roster change with putting in Maurice for the second half? Do you think that'll pay off?
I think it's good. I think we're just kind of trying to see who works well with Train here in majors, because none of us have really paired with him too much, and we're just trying to see what kind of chemistry we get.
Yeah, and Maurice is really solid. He's a great communicator, so I don't have any worries about this half.
Yeah, we're pretty confident Maurice. He was having some trouble with Radius thing, so and Pie's playing well for him, so we're going with Maurice.
Do you guys tend to be a stronger team on Pi, or is Radius better for you guys? Because I noticed you have Tojo and Trendy Grove on your team, who are both Canadians, and in theory, Radius would be a better server.
I think we're stronger on Pi because a lot of these Radius teams don't practice Pi unless they play us. So
Fair enough.
Plus,
it
we have a
works out.
couple of Floridians and such.
And your last game on Velocity was very close. You guys were playing against the Ghost Boosters, if I remember correctly. And started off, same idea. It started off pretty badly for you, but you came back into the game. Not quite in time to win it, but it looks like you guys might have a fighting chance here. Two cap lead is the most dangerous lead in Tag Pro. I'm coining this right now.
I think especially on a map like Velocity, where you've seen teams get like 4 caps in 2 minutes, anything can really happen here. And
Absolutely.
I think that Pirates are going to be able to adjust accordingly and definitely make it a much closer half.
Yeah, we also proved that last weekend with our minors team. Came back down 4 caps in the second game. Hey, why are you starting? Isn't Tyrus coming in?
Everybody said they're ready.
I thought Tyrus was playing.
Don't know.
That doesn't look like it.
Here
Well,
we go then.
As we kick off game 1, half 2, it looks like the Knights of Capalot are running with the same 4 that they started the game with. That would be Kanadzian and David Stern on defense, who have been doing a tremendous job. And on offense, Serdan and Jay, who I've noticed have been doing a lot of offense on defense. Or how should I phrase that? They've been playing 3D a lot when needed, and it's been working out for them. They get these resets. As you said, it's a very big team effort, and they've been doing it quite well. If you look at the power ops.
Very even power distributions. Let's see if we can get more of those. Oh, close. Good team effort from. So this is a trick that you can do when you have coordinated play. You bomb your guy who's trying to go get the power up into Liquid, you should start talking. My packet loss is gone.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of packet loss in the game as well. It looks like Pi is being DDoSed. Distributed denial of service. Also distributed denial of caps and tag programs. And let's go back to group, see if this works, but I think everyone's having this problem. It's been a real plague lately.
Let me
This
take
is so frustrating.
opportunity to condemn those of you out there who are trying this thing. Just want to say, fuck your assholes.
I think we're going back to Radius.
Yeah, that would be a smart move. I'm sorry for that, viewers. Looks like we're going to be heading back to Radius for game 2, half 2, which, when all is said and done, I don't think it's that bad for the Pirates, considering they have lots of Radius players on their team. But we'll see if this changes things regards to roster decisions with them. It looks like they're going to put Demon back in for the Radius half, so I'm guessing Maurice might be a better Pi player, but if they're playing on Radius, they don't want to risk it. A lot of twists and turns in this game. What do you think, Top, was the key for the first 30 seconds of that half?
Well, for those of you viewers out there who are not familiar with competitive Tag Pro, I just want to point out that the main difference is actually, honestly, is not about whether, like, the best of the best Major League players obviously are gonna be better at every single aspect of the game than your best pubber. But the difference is actually not as wide as, or not as big as you imagine. But the main difference is coordination. For example, power-ups in pubs, people contest them. Nowadays, I see people actually timing power-ups in pubs, which is great. But you will never see one pub bombing another pub player towards the power-up so that they can have a chance of grabbing it faster than the opponent team. So
Yeah.
this kind of team coordination is what really sets apart competitive play and what makes it more fun, because in the end, when you get really, really good at the game, some people might feel like they've mastered the game already in terms of them really understanding the momentum, the maps, how to use boosts and everything. But once you add in teamwork and how to beat coordinated teamwork, then the game's possibilities becomes limitless.
Absolutely, and I think a great example of having a good system and great teamwork is the 30 Seconds to Mars Ball game versus the Ghost Boosters in the playoffs last season. That was Kanadzian's team. On that team was Kanadzian, Rast on defense, and Legman Noblord on offense. And Nads was really, really good at instilling a really great sense of discipline, but also a very detailed system. So when such and such player gets a tag pro, the whole team does this. When such and such player gets juke juice, the whole team does something else. When he gets rolling bomb, there's a whole different plan. And every time you could see when they got those power-ups, the whole positioning changed of the team. So if, say, a defender got a rolling bomb, immediately Noblard would stay back on defense. It looked like he was a designated substitute defender, and the guy with the rolling bomb went offense. Whereas Kanadzian never went offense ever. He was the guy dedicated defender, and Legman was the dedicated offender, and it worked out really well for them. They won 17-0 on Boombox. And it's not because the Ghost Boosters were bad, it's just because Nads' team had such a great, efficient system, and they stuck to it really well.
17-0 on Boombox?
Yes, in the playoffs.
Are you fucking joking?
It was
What?
amazing. It was the best game of Tag Pro I've ever watched. The discipline that those players had was incredible.
Okay, that is insane.
This is Nads' team right here. Nads and Serdan combined to win a Super Bowl in Season 5 with the Ghost Boosters. And again, that season they had fantastic systems and great discipline and great teamwork. They had the rest of their players are micro and wow such. And it looks like even though you'd expect Jay and David Stern to be slightly less good than micro and wow such two established veterans, they've been doing really well, pulling their weight this game. And I'd say, in fact, that David Stern and Jay might be the two better players that we've seen so far in the first half.
Exactly. David Stern has really been amazingly impressive on defense, and as well as flag carrying. And you know what? David Stern always, whenever I see the name David Stern, always reminded of Sanuku. That's a name that I guess a lot of you guys have not heard it. Have never heard before. He's an old-time player who was really, really good at spotting talent, and David Stern was his
protege.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of newer players or players who are have lots of potential, I think David Stern can still qualify as that due to his long hiatus. And Kanadzian had the opportunity to acquire defenders who were maybe more experienced for his team, but he decided to pick David Stern as his defensive partner because exactly what you're saying. I think it's a lot easier to instill a sense of discipline and a new system in a player who isn't a veteran who doesn't already have set expectations as to how the game should be played. And so when you get a new player like that, or newer, less experienced player like that, it's a lot easier to teach him a system and have him adhere to it. And it worked out really well. Now Nad has the flag with the tag pro. Surprising decision there, but two tag pros on defense doesn't really have any added advantage. And now all the power-ups are out. Looks like Serdan, not quite sure what Serdan's doing. He's waiting for the boost to spawn, I think. And didn't quite work out.
That was a really interesting starting power-up spread. Unfortunately, there were too many tag pros for any action to happen. Because, the tag pros just ended up killing each other. Let's see how they hold that thought. Okay, so Jay didn't get out of base. Both flags are static right now. I'm very interested to see how each team deals with power-up allocation, like who goes to fight for which power-up in a static defense situation. Does Train give up the flag? Because Serdan right now, Train has given up the flag. But okay, he recovers in time for Jay coming back.
Jay made a really clutch grab there. Oh, what a snipe by Demon. But to get back to what Jay did there, if he hadn't grabbed, it would have kept the power-up up for contention with Serdan in the corner, but because he grabbed, it forced Demon out of the corner to give Serdan that juke juice, and Serdan used that juke juice to cap. Now the score is 4-1 on aggregate. Tojo's going to try for the snipe, but Jay's positioning himself well not to get sniped, and it looks like, oh, Tojo bites on the snipe, misses it. Jay gets out, but somehow spikes himself with the bomb, and that doesn't quite work out as well as he expected. Serdan survives the bomb by Demon, and this could be another cap. Whoa, but not quite. As I said, it's so easy to get back OD there. It looked like the Knights of Capalot had the blocks, but all of a sudden Tojo and Demon come storming into base and keep the score at 4-1.
Can Train make it? Oh, he almost.
Train whiffs on the snipe there, and Jay's in the corner. He makes his way out, not quite. Trendy anticipates, and that's the end of that. Tojo's going to grab the rolling bomb. 3 rolling bombs spawning, and Nads does not coordinate well with Serdan. That didn't quite work out. I can already hear Nads apologizing for that. And Tojo tries to juke, can't quite make it out. And now if Train dies, that's another cap for the Knights of Capalot.
But no, it turns out to be a return cap for the Privateers.
The Pirates, yeah. Come on,
right.
don't be insulting like that. I know they have a couple players who played minors on this team, but this is the majors version.
Did I just relegate them to the minor league team?
Yeah. Oh, what a bomb by
What a
Trendy
bomb
Grub!
by
This could
Trendy
be a
Grub.
cap if he makes it right.
Oh.
Not quite. That bomb was amazing. He jukes a guy in a 2-wide space. Now Trendy Grub's gonna head back for regrab, and it's gonna leave Tojo stranded if he takes that boost. Tojo can't quite make it. I know last week Tojo was lagging a lot. I'm not sure if he's been suffering the same amount of lag this time around. Guess we'll find out, but that play rate there was uncharacteristic of Tojo. Great power-up timer, though, by Tojo. And it looks like the Pirates are going to get 3 of the 4 power-ups. Rolling Bomb was defused, but they have Tag on defense, which they might be able to use if they get a reset here. And Juju's on offense, but there is no reset, and now it's out to chasing. The Tag Pro is pretty much useless at this point.
Serdan carrying the flag and Tojo for the other side.
So with 6 minutes left in the half, the Pirates need 3 caps to equalize and 4 caps to take the lead. Do you think they have what it takes to do it?
No, they only need 2. Right?
Oh, you're right. They only need 2. So now the question is, do you think they have what it takes to do it? I mean, this, as I can't remember who was saying it. I think it was Manbear. This map is so easy to cap twice or 3 times on in quick succession. Do you think we'll be seeing this happen?
Right now, I don't. It's really hard to say because I think that the Knights of
Return
Capalot-
for cap. Not quite. Serdan gets out and gets ahead of 3. Great job by Serdan. That could have been a cap right there for the Pirates, and instead he buys enough time for the team to get a reset or a regrab.
Pretty clutch blocking by the offensive players.
Now Demon has to basically stay alive here just for a few seconds, and he does. That's perfect. Nice reset. If Demon can return David Stern here, they'll have the reset that they wanted. And he does. Excellent. Both teams are reset.
I think that actually, in terms of from what I've seen so far, having both flags reset is disadvantageous for the
Pirates?
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure I don't get the name wrong again. They when both flags are out, I don't see either team having a definite edge over the other. In my opinion, David Stern and Canadian are doing a better job at keeping the flag in base, as well as contesting power-ups when the flags are in base.
And it looks like Knights of Capalot are set to win 3 of the power-ups, although they actually might win all 4. They won. Knights of Capalot swept this round of power-ups. That was not only good timers, but also really good positioning because all of the power-ups are contested except for the one in their base.
Yep. And that is no small feat because on velocity it's very difficult to keep the flag in base while contesting power-ups.
Yes, it only works if the whole team, the whole opposing team, dedicates themselves to fighting for all the power-ups. Now, just to go back to what Serdan and Jay did before this grab, Serdan was going into the corner to try to organize a regrab or a handoff for Jay. But Train read it, and he decided to stay with Jay and just trust Demon on the return, and Demon delivered, and that gave them the reset that they needed. But now Jay's out, and looks like Serdan's heading on regrab. Jay wasn't patient enough to wait for Serdan and just decides to get out immediately. But Serdan gets back, gets the regrab, and he gets sniped by Demon. Great snipe. That was clutch right there.
Yeah, that was a great reset.
They need these kinds of resets.
This is looking almost. Can Train do it?
Yeah, they need these resets if they want to take the lead, but Trendy Grub drops the ball there, and no pun intended. And, tag pro on base. This is a return for cap scenario, although it's not going to happen. Train sneaks in and sneaks out. Oh, great job by Train.
Wow.
He's also not a conventional flag carrier, but it works out for him. And if Trendy can get a return on David Stern here, it's not going to happen. Whoa.
Interesting. That was interesting. I wonder if Train was lagging right there because he wasn't under any form of pressure to take that boost. Nice try by Serdan. Tojo manages to avoid as well.
And with 2 minutes 53, Pirates still need 2 caps to get a win here. Or to get a tie, they need 3 caps to get a win. Knights of Capalot look like they're in a really good position to hold fort. And Jay and Serdan get 2 tag pros. Jay as a flag carrier, no less. Great timing by Serdan on that one. It looked like Tojo knew what time it was coming and tried to fight for it. And they both got it within a microsecond of each other.
Trendy is in trouble even though he has a rolling bomb.
Well, he tried to weave his way through, didn't make it. Now both teams have attack pro spawning in base, although Jay's runs out. And Demon's going to use his tag pro to try to orchestrate a cap here. But Tojo paints himself into a corner there.
Nice.
Oh, what a return by Jay!
Nice teamwork!
That's what we're talking about. This is what makes or breaks a team, is that kind of teamwork, that awareness right there. And you can see the Pirates are getting desperate. They're not waiting for regrab there. They're trying their grabs. They're trying to force it as much as they can. And Tojo is definitely lagging. That was not intentional.
There was no way he could have done that.
He's using the mystery strats. You never know what Tojo's going to do next. Well, Tojo gets his rolling bomb defused by David Stern. Good defuse. And Nads pushes Tojo into the return. And can they have the block here? Oh, Serdan decides not to force it and to go around. And Trendy was in position. I think if Serdan had gone straight for the flag, he might have gotten a cap there. And Train, he just spikes, but he probably would have had the second boost as well. Trendy jukes Serdan with the juke-juice. And he can't juke him twice, but he almost did. And with 1 minute and 11 seconds, it's really do or die for the Pirates.
David Stern gets out of place. And
Tojo with the tag pro grab, he doesn't know where opponents are spawning, and this could hurt him.
Oh, can they get a decap? No.
Tojo needs the solo return here. If he can get the solo return, they got to reset. But Tojo's, we've already established, is lagging, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I wonder if they're going to try someone else on offense, like Tyrus, in the second half. Surprised Tyrus hasn't played, in fact. I think he's only played 1 half of majors so far this season. I'm not sure if it's due to lag or something.
This is might be the nail in the coffin for the KOC. Oh, but never mind. Good play.
And if he gets returned here, we're within 1 cap. But I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, Tojo should have gone for the bomb there. Maybe he could have made it happen.
Yep, one of those Hail Mary, hit the bomb, I hope everything works out right, because there's only 20 seconds left to play.
Yeah, and Trendy, he's going to have to take a lap, and this is basically the end of the game here, because he has to take the lap. Oh, again, Jay. Oh, that would have been hilarious if Jay somehow got a cap out of that bomb boost. And both teams have the cap flag, and at the end of the day, Knights of Capalot take the first game 4-2 against the Pirates. Great play by both sides. And you can see the whole time was pretty even. Both teams in the 5 minutes. 30 returns for the Knights of Capalot, 31 for the Pirates. So this was a very even half, and even the score showcased that. It was 1-1. And an overall really well played game. I think the edge for the Knights of Capalot in game 1 was the first 5 minutes of game 1, half 1. That was just, they came out storming out of the gates, and it really helped them out. They got a few early power-ups, they got the edge in terms of grabs, and they got those 2 quick caps at the beginning that basically were the difference. It was a 2-cap game the whole way.
Exactly. I think that both teams did not manage to keep the flag in base in game half. In game 1, half 2. So it was rather. I feel that the Knights of Capalot couldn't play to their strengths of keeping the flag in base, even though they did have a couple of very good moments where they got 4 power-ups once. That was always commendable on a map like that. But that game's over, and I would say that Knights of Capalot won pretty convincingly in that game.
Yeah, they didn't do anything spectacular on offense, but the key was that they made a really good team effort on defense, and they made hardly any mistakes. I think they only made 2 or 3 mistakes, and they were penalized on both of them, and that were basically, those are the 2 only caps they conceded. They played a really flawless game on defense, and the same can't be said of the Pirates, unfortunately, but part of that might be due to the fact that Nulfin, who is their main defender, can't be present today. Now it looks like they're going to play game 2 on Wormy, which is going to be a completely different dynamic in terms of gameplay.
Let's make some fun predictions based on the performance of game 1. How do you think game 2 will go?
If it looks like they're going to run with the same lineups, both teams. Wait a second. Tyrus is jumping in. Let's see who jumps out.
I am actually I rate Tyrus very highly as an offensive player. he has definitely the raw talent needed to play.
But the question is he playing offense or defense? Because they subbed out
That is
Demon,
true.
who was playing defense for Tyrus. And so now they
That
have
is
3
true and
offensive
very,
players on the
very
roster.
strange.
Maybe they're going to make another substitution. I could see someone like Maurice or F2P Dynasty jumping in for
No,
Tyre or
Train
Toto or
says,
Trendy Grub.
Train says we're ready.
Wow. It'll be interesting to see how they line up. I'm going to guess that Tyrus and Train are going to be playing defense together. But you never know. Bold predictions, I say maybe not that bold, but I think we're going to have more defenders and offensive players capping this game. That's my prediction. Because it's so easy to get back on offensive defense. It's, if not more easy than on velocity, due to those mid boosts and the only one choke in the middle. It's really easy to catch up, and I could see defense getting a quick return, getting a quick grab, and getting ahead of the opposition for a cap. So that's my prediction. Each team will have a defender as their top capper.
The pacing of the game on Wormy is rather different from Velocity, in my opinion, though. There's a much more, in my opinion, Wormy is extremely controlled map.
Absolutely.
To the extent where I think that power-ups on Wormy are at least as important as, say, on Boombox.
I think you're the one who was saying that a tag pro on Wormy is the most powerful tag pro in the game.
Yep. Oh, yeah. At least when I made the post, that was what I meant.
Yes, it's if you get a tag pro on Wormy, due to the fact that there's only one way to get out of base quickly and only one choke in the middle, you can just park yourself there and get a whole bunch of tags and neutralize the whole opponent or opposition right there. And so I could see power-ups playing a large role in this game, much more than on velocity.
And tag pro also, getting a tag pro in the middle of the map also snowballs your power-up advantage, because as long as the other two, the middle power-ups usually the one that spawns first, whoever gets a tag pro in the middle has a very high chance of securing another power-up for their team, because they can just boost top or boost bottom and get another one. And I think that's it. They're ready to go.
I remember last season, oftentimes on Wormy they'd have 5, 6, 7, maybe sometimes. I think one time there were 8 people fighting for the middle power up, and so often, like as you said, that power up is extremely important. And once you get that one, it kind of snowballs into the side one. So it'll be interesting if we see another similar situation this game.
It makes you question though, when you have situations like that. I feel like a team that adapts quicker will be the one that wins out, because having 2 people fight for the power up is not very much different from having 4 people fight for the power up. So if you allocated people to go and like make a sneaky grab or go get another power up, like anyway, enough theory crafting. Let's hop into the game.
And so Jay decides to delay the tag bro. Interesting decision, probably so that he can fight for both power ups later on in the game. Meanwhile, the Pirates get 2 juke juices, and we're off to start the game. Toto gets a grab, but gets returned by Kanadzian. And now Trendy Grab might try for the solo grab, which I do not advise.
Especially not on a map like this. This looks... Oh, but that tag pro is going to run out in 2 seconds.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Jay did delay it, though, so it bought him an extra 2 seconds with that tag bro. And so what do you think of these bombs? Do you think they're better for offense or better for defense? The opinion is pretty split in terms of who they advantage more.
And I think it is a 50-50, as whoever can make use of them better.
I know lots of defenders who like to keep the bombs alive, whereas other defenders who absolutely, by all means, want those bombs defused as soon as possible. As an offensive player myself, those bombs are my favorite tool to grab, the 2 trigger bombs that are adjacent to each other. If you can get one teammate to trigger it while you're vertically above or below it, then all of a sudden you got a quick, easy grab out. And both teams get a tag bro here. It'll be interesting how they use it. One team has Train, who's a defender with the tag bro, and Jay might turn into a chaser as well, or he might just decide to protect Serdan with the flag. Oh, Serdan gets the block for Tojo inadvertently. And now it might be a return for a cap situation.
But Jay gets there as a tag pro and
defuses the situation. Oh, unlucky bomb by Tojo. And everyone's back. So, have we figured out who's playing defense for the Pirates yet?
I don't.
I wasn't really paying attention at the beginning of the game, but regardless, David Stern, who's a defender, is another great flag carrier so far. He was doing really well on velocity, and this is one of the harder maps to flag carry, I think. You have to be a really smart flag carrier on Wormy, and he's proving that he is.
Tyrus is definitely the other defender because Tojo is the one on regrab.
Fair enough.
Trendy has a flag and Tojo has a regrab, so Tyrus is obviously.
So Trendy Grub could get a cap here if his team gets a return. That's not going to happen, though. How long has David Stern been holding this flag?
That'll be 57 seconds because this is his only grab. This is
Wow.
more
This
than
is a
a
tremendous
minute of
hold.
hold time. Oh, what a play by David Stern! More than a minute of hold time is usually pretty amazing.
On a single grab, no less.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Like,
Mhm.
oh, Tojo gets Jerry. Serdan, can he get out of base?
Oh, Trendy Grub
I
tries to
think-
thread the needle, but that was a risky move. Didn't pay off. Serdan, great micro juice. And there's a bit of an extermination there. Tojo is ahead of 4. Oh, no, wait. He's not ahead of 4 at all. And David Stern's back with the flag. He might be their most dangerous threat right now. Serdan,
Beautiful
great job
blocking
delaying
pass.
that
Yeah.
power-up grab to give David Stern the rolling bomb.
Very confident of his blocking abilities too. I mean, he didn't.
Almost
he
a great
didn't-
snipe by Tyrus. Trendy is a bit in the way, and David Stern just manages to survive that by the skin of his teeth. Trendy trying to interception snipe. Didn't work out. And David Stern just taking another lap. Meanwhile, Tojo's been taking quite the laps himself. Nads and Serdan having a really hard time catching him. And finally, Serdan gets the return. And Nads is the one going on regrab, which I think is an odd decision considering Serdan, in my opinion, is a much better flag carrier and Nads is a much better chaser. But maybe it's just because Kanadzian was closer. Sometimes that's just the most efficient thing to do. You don't want to waste time deciding who's going to go on regrab or not, especially not at this level of competition. Power-ups are going to spawn any second now, so let's see who fights for the middle. David Stern gets a tag pro, and this is what we were talking about. This could turn the tides. And nobody gets the bottom tag pro. Let's see. Oh, and there's a tag pro at the top too. This could be really dangerous. Right now, the Pirates just have to focus on surviving. Train gets the bottom tag pro. David Stern gets the top tag pro.
Oh,
and,
David Stern clutch play.
And bad kiss by Train, in my opinion.
Train is a revenge kiss. He probably like there was no point of him actually killing David Stern. He was just like, "Fuck you! Why'd you kill my flag carrier?"
And this could be Trendy just stays alive, just barely enough to prevent the Knights of Capalot from capping there. This has been a very holdy game. Let's look at the stats here. Well, I don't know if you guys can see the stats, but I'm looking at the stats, and you can see that the Pirates have had 4 minutes exactly of hold time total so far, and the Knights of Capalot 4 minutes 15 seconds. So, and the game's only been going on for 5 minutes, meaning that the flag's been out 90% of the time, which is a lot of time, especially on a map like this. I mean, this one gets holdy, but 80% of the time holding is a lot more than I'd expect.
This is definitely a very surprising game in terms of hold time.
And Train's in a good position here. He has a tag on defense.
That's a reset. Can they get a reset? No, they can't get a reset.
Train's gonna have to grab with the
Nice
tag pro
play.
here. He doesn't know where the opponent's spawning. He just has to pray that it's not on him. And Tojo's gonna go for the handoff. It's not gonna happen though, and maybe Serdan can get a cap here if he gets the blocks. Oh, what a bomb by Tojo. Didn't quite work out. That was close enough. And now the Knights of Capalot take another lead. One thing I've noticed is in none of the halves have the Pirates taken a single lead so far. It's always been Knights of Capalot capping first. So Serdan could have boosted out there, but he decides not to and gets sniped by Train on a really tight snipe. Good job, Train.
Beautiful snipe by Train there.
And it looks like Jay does exactly what I was saying. You position yourself above that bomb and you can get a quick grab off of it. He can't quite get out though. David Stern snipes himself into a spike.
Can Train Grub get out here?
Oh,
This is
great
looking
boost by
really good.
Trendy Grub. And he's got basically 1 second to cap here. Didn't make it.
No.
And now Kanadzian is out ahead of 3 players. If they can get a return on Tojo, who decides to go flag pro.
Oh,
Great bomb. Jay's gonna exterminate Tyrus, probably.
One down.
Oh,
Two
that's
down, and
another
that's a
cap. Credit to, I think that was Serdan, who came swoop down with a boost and got that snipe to ensure the cap, killed the flag carrier, and the rest of the work just had to be done by that tag pro to take out the offensive defenseman. And now the Knights of Capalot take a 2-cap lead over the Pirates.
As well as a very commanding regrab Train.
So Jay getting on regrab. good patience by, I think it was Serdan, who stays alive long enough for the regrab to get set. However, Jay does not demonstrate that same patience and dies before Serdan could get on re. And that looks like it's going to be a cap for the Pirates. Serdan had a bit of a dilemma there. Do you fight for mid, especially considering it turned out to be a tag row, or do you go on regrab? In retrospect, he probably should have gone to regrab. I don't think he knew how close, how close Trendy Grub was to his base. Had he known, I think he would have abandoned the power up to go on regrab and get that flag to prevent the cap. So it's only one cap game. Pirates get their first cap of the half.
Wormy always, well, unless when teams are reasonably evenly matched, Wormy always leads to a very, how to describe this, always very intense game.
And once again, you notice on Tyrus's grab right there, he used the bombs to his advantage, had the Pirates, no, not the Pirates, the Knights of Capalot defuse the bomb, and in the process gave Tyrus a free grab. So if you position yourself well on offense, you can get a grab almost every time using that bomb. The challenge is for the defense to try to prevent you from getting that edge in positioning.
Yep.
And oh, Canadian pushes Tyrus away to secure the tag row for his team. Good push by Nads. Train's waiting on the top power up, but Nads notices and Train's not going to get it. He might get the bottom one though.
David Stern is a menace with the tag row, I'm not joking.
Yeah, he just killed everyone. Oh, and Jay manages to get the juke juice.
Oh, and Serdan can get through there.
That's not going to happen.
Oh, no.
So Train and Trendy Grub going on defense. This is what happens when you have three offensive players. You don't know who should play D. Can Jay get out? It looks like he can if he has the boost. He should have taken that boost. He would have gotten out, but he gets out anyway. I hold my tongue. And Jay's now ahead of 2. Only ahead of 1 now. And Train is playing anti-regrab. Smart move. Looked like his team had good communication. They didn't have the flag, so they could afford to leave one back. And they get the reset out of it. That was a very good heads-up play by Train.
Mm-hmm.
So regarding anti-regrab, it can be very beneficial, and Tojo gets the wrong one in the middle. It can be beneficial when you don't have the enemy flag, but they have yours. You can afford to have 3 guys on offensive defense along with 1 on regrab or anti-regrab. And as I say this, Trendy gets a quick, swift grab, boost through the middle while everyone's fighting for the power-ups and getting great blocks by Tojo and Tyrus, I think. And he swoops in for the cap, the tying cap, with 23 seconds left. The score is 2-2.
What happened there was actually a case of doing the right thing, but ending up with the wrong result. Because David Stern tried to bomb Trendy Grub into a worse position. But what he actually ended up doing is to put Trendy Grub ahead of everybody on his team. So I mean, you can't really fault. I wouldn't really fault him for that play, because it looked like the right play at that point in time. David Stern had no way of seeing the rest of the map, but it turned out to cost them a cap.
A very evenly matched game. Both teams had a lot of hold. On Knights of Capalot, it was Canadian who didn't hold too much, played more defense. Although he did get a cap on the Pirates, it was Tyrus who only had 41 seconds of hold, so maybe he was taking on a more defensive role this game. But overall, both teams had in the 6 minutes of hold time and similar amounts of returns. And as we head into the second half of Game 2, this is a tie.
I think whichever team manages to clean up the defense and keep the flag in base is going to win the game. That was the main problem with that particular half, is that the flag was out way more than it should be on a map like Wormy.
Especially the first 5 minutes. I don't think there was a single point in the first 5 minutes where both teams had the flag in base. There was always one of them holding. They started selling it down, so in the last 5 minutes, each team only had 2 minutes of hold. So if they can keep that up in the second half, whoever manages to do that best will likely come out with a win. And my pregame prediction was that defenders would get more caps than offensive players. Now, I didn't really think it through because the Pirates have 3 offensive players. So that would mean that the only candidate for good caps is Train, yeah, well, or Trendy Grub, or Tyrus, whoever decides to play D. But for the Knights of Capalot, Canadian topped the leaderboard with 1 cap, which is technically 50% of his team's caps. And if you round up 50%, that's 100%, which is the majority. So.
What the fuck, dude?
And statistics. Use them to your advantage. And it looks like the Pirates are going to stick to a 3 offensive lineup.
Oh boy.
Interesting choice there. They're putting out their 4 strongest players at the moment, although 3 of them are offensive players. I'm not sure if the marginal benefit of putting a strong player like Tyrus on defense is better than putting a less experienced but a still talented player like F2P or Demon or Maurice on defense. Especially that these new guys might have a point to prove and will really be
Now,
playing their heart out.
I don't really know about I wouldn't really know about a map about how much Tyrus actually plays defense. But in my opinion, Wormy is a map where you want defenders to actually be playing defense. There are some maps when it doesn't really matter if it's a defender like doing the chasing, like someone who is very familiar. Because I think the Wormy as a map is still reasonably new, as well as having it's a very chaotic map in the sense that there's a lot of things that could be going on, but there's chaos that can be controlled. But basically, my point is that a defender that has been, a player that plays defense will have an advantage on a map like this because he would have more. He will have more a chance to explore the nuances of the map for defense purposes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that makes sense. But let's hop into the game and Pirates win 2 out of the 3 power-ups. Let's see what they can do with it.
On maps like Holy See, I could see a 3 offense lineup doing really well because you're going to be holding the deck for most of the time. But on a map like Wormy, you might want a more disciplined defender who knows his way around defense, or is at least more familiar with how defense is played to be able to keep the flag in base. Trendy Grub dodges a couple snipes, and question is, can he